sorry for that last video kind of ending abruptly, but we're back. My recording just stopped last time, but let's get this party started again.
Miss Pamel gave the fabric to her and left the theater with it. She didn't need to hide the fabric herself, which means she wouldn't have needed to step outside completely, just far enough out that she could get her hooves wet. You see, this was all part of the defendant's plan to frame Miss Pamel.
The neck up position, I swear.
In that case, how do you plan to explain away these other two inconsistencies?
Inconsistencies?
Inconsistencies.
Indeed. They arise from a detail in the autopsy report. Namely, the areas where the fabric roll touched the victim.
What's wrong with that? The autopsy stated that there was a bruise on the back of the head, and if Miss Pamel came from behind, it would naturally be the area where she would strike him.
It's not what's been left behind on Overall's body that's the problem. It's what wasn't
a mark
left behind.
A mark?
What do you mean?
A mark?
Have you forgotten already? The fabric had just been coated with fluorescent paint, and it was
paint
still
mark.
wet at the time of the crime. If Overall was really holding it in his mouth, there would have been traces of paint left over in his mouth.
Perhaps the paint was washed away by his saliva then.
What?
Even if that were somehow the
this
case,
isn't
it wouldn't matter,
SpongeBob.
because there was another spot where the paint couldn't have been washed away.
His head.
Couldn't? No!
If Overall was hit on the back of the head with the wet fabric on the fabric roll, then some of the paint would have been discovered there.
Get smoked, idiot. Get smoked. Get smoked like a smish kebab.
Someone please enlighten me so that
Please
I can be shocked.
Your Honor, the autopsy report states no other substances or residues were found on the victim's body aside from the glitter on his forehooves.
Glitter.
We also know, thanks to the previous testimony, that the special fabric was indeed wrapped around the fabric roll at the time of the murder. And it was most definitely still wet.
Wet. Moist.
Based on all this evidence and the testimony presented up to this point, it is impossible for the victim to have been hit on the head with the fabric roll.
Bam!
What?
Oh, the bouncy animation, a little bit of bounce.
Objection!
What are you objecting?
The only other explanation is the roll must have been empty this whole time. It would explain why there were no stains on him.
Objection! Unfortunately, Prince Blueblood, that cannot be the case. A torn piece of fabric was found on stage, indicating that the fabric must have gone up the catwalk at some point. And even if we were to ignore that, the witness herself just claimed that the fabric was on the roll when it was brought up.
Dude, let's go!
Unwrapped the fabric from the roll as soon as she got up there, and then hit Overall with it.
Unless you were a unicorn, unwrapping the roll would have taken far too much time.
Exactly.
Overall would have managed to escape without being attacked.
Exactly.
No matter what
you don't just unroll a roll.
It's impossible for Coco or anyone else to have used the fabric roll to hit the victim.
Yes! Draw.
So, what was the fabric roll used for then, Mr. Wright?
Eating.
It's become apparent that Suri Polomer was the only one who could have brought the fabric up to the catwalk.
And why's that?
Overall couldn't have done so without getting paint on himself, and Coco couldn't have done it without being seen by Playwright. So there's only one pony left. Process of elimination. Right, Prince Blueblood?
Yeah, Prince Blueblood.
So, Miss Polomer, do you deny that you were the one who carried the fabric roll up the catwalk? There's no one else who could have done it, so you might as well...
So what if I did?
Huh?
Oh my god, stop. Stop.
Maybe I did steal the fabric. Maybe I did attack Coco Pamel. But here's the thing. This proves nothing.
What do you mean? Proves nothing.
You're
what do you
saying
mean?
that I knocked both the victim and Coco Pamel out with that fabric roll, right?
Oh, but it doesn't prove that...
How exactly did I manage to not leave any traces of paint on the victim myself, then, You're claiming that Coco couldn't have hit the victim with the roll because she would have left paint on him. The same reasoning applies.
See, but you also claimed that Coco Pamel hit the victim on the head. Like, You're obviously suspicious here. Just because you're saying this proves nothing. You still have some of that good old suspicion on your flank. Just saying.
Applies to me, does it not?
That is indeed true, but if you really did go to the theater to steal the fabric, it's possible that you might have prepared a weapon of your own to fend off anyone that would try to stop you.
Yeah.
It's possible? Well, then why don't you go ahead and
good laugh.
that possibility? I can say for certain that I did not bring a single thing to the theater other than what I have on.
Wasn't there another weapon?
So go ahead. Prove the existence of this other weapon. If you
Didn't he already prove that? I'm
Well,
pretty sure he
Mr.
did.
Wright, can you prove the existence of a different weapon the witness could have used to knock out the victim?
Come on, my man.
Are you kidding me? How am I supposed to do that?
Twilight.
I've got no leads
Twilight.
to go off of. It could be anything.
Twilight.
admit
Twilight.
You have nothing, filthy human. Your Honor,
Twilight.
Yes, Miss Polo Mare?
I request an escort to take me back to my apartment.
No, 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 no,
We
no,
can
no,
all
no, no,
put
no,
this
no, 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 no,
travesty
no, no.
behind us.
No, 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 no. You're not done
I'm afraid
yet.
you will have to be brought in for questioning before that. You were an accomplice to the defendant, after all. But I'm sure the police can arrange for some form of transportation after that.
Whatever. It's still better than being charged for murder.
No! If I don't think of something now,
Twilight.
she's going to get away.
Phoenix!
Feet,
What?
Twilight.
There's nothing. I don't know what she could have used to knock the victim out.
Calm down. There's gotta be something we've overlooked.
Twilight.
Can I calm down now? The real killer's about to get away.
Phoenix! Follow my lead.
Twilight. Whoa, what are you doing? What are you doing, Twilight? What's the animation?
What-
It's good animation. What are we
what was
doing?
that?
What are we? What are we? What are we?
It's a breathing exercise my sister-in-law taught me. She's a princess too, and she taught me this to prepare myself for stressful situations I would have to face as a princess myself.
I see. Wait, your sister-in-law? You have a sibling? And there's another princess?
Actually,
Not
there's
important
four.
right now, Phoenix.
Right.
I think it is important. Actually,
Anyway,
very important to this
we need
case.
to think quickly here. Suri must have brought something to the theater that night to use as a weapon.
But the only thing she'll admit to having brought with her are the clothes she has on now.
Then let's see if we can use those.
Are you
Oh.
nuts? How could she have knocked someone out with an article of clothing?
We'll
Cho?
think about that later. This is the only lead we have left right now.
Well then, if there are no further objections, I believe it is
Whoa, whoa,
time
whoa,
we
whoa, whoa, whoa.
conclude the cross-examination of this
Nah, my man.
witness.
Nah, 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 nah. None of that. None of that.
Time
None of
to-
that. None of that. No.
Objection!
Yes. Object. Get objected, sucker.
Your Honor, the defense would like to present evidence at this time.
Evidence.
Yes.
Yo,
evidence
music.
that shows exactly what this witness used to attack overall concept on the night of the murder.
Oh. Oh, yeah. You shut up.
Impossible! You can't possibly have anything!
Mr. Wright, please explain what you mean.
Oh my god, explain counter. Ooh, the screen went black.
Fast here. No, not just fast, crazy.
Ooh, Poco
Miss Palomare
Loco.
must have somehow knocked out overall with just a piece of clothing. She's not wearing anything else that would be heavy enough to cause such a large bruise on the back of his head, though. So, time to think outside of the box. Instead of figuring out what she used
Think a
over
little
him,
bit crazy.
figure out what she did to him to cause that bruise.
The hard hoof steps from them on the wooden floor were already bad enough. Mix that with a rattling catwalk and that loud clang.
Loud
That's
clang.
enough to ruin a play as it is.
On the way up the stairs, I heard a loud clanging
Loud
noise.
clanging noise got the
I ran as
bruise.
quickly as I could to see what happened.
Wait, could it be?
What is it?
Time's up, Mr. Wright.
Time's
This
up!
has made some valid points in her defense. Do you have anything to refute them?
Dude, this music
do,
goes
Your Honor.
hard.
I told you before. I didn't bring a weapon to the theater.
Oh, I believe you. You didn't bring anything of the sort.
But Mr. Wright,
I'm loving this music right now.
Based on her having another weapon?
Anything is a weapon if you put your mind to it.
Still is.
My hands are weapons.
Explain, human.
What if this other weapon wasn't a conventional?
Meaning?
The defense is of the opinion that we've been going about this the wrong way. Recall that playwright mentioned there was a loud clang during the chase.
At least try and keep up, attorney. That was when the victim tripped. We just established
Unless he
this
got
in Miss
bonked on the
Coleman's
head by like
testimony.
something,
I
like
beg to
metal.
differ. I think that noise was really the moment when Overall was knocked unconscious.
And how would that be? You've admitted that she had no weapon with her. What else could possibly have made that clang? It would have had to have been something metal.
I completely agree.
Yes. Exactly.
Your Honor, the defense proposes that the witness Sir
Damn, the
Polo
music's,
Mare knocked
the
the victim
music's
out
gone.
using the catwalk itself.
Yo!
What?
Yo! Yo, cakewalk as a weapon, let's go!
Do you hear yourself, human? How in the world would I have been able to use a catwalk as a weapon?
You see, you have your hooves, and you just grab the head, and you just slam it into the metal pole. Just slam it in there.
Simple. All you had to do was throw him against it.
Exactly.
If he hit the back of his head against the railing hard enough, I'm sure that would have been able to knock him out cold.
That's absolutely ridiculous.
What do you mean?
Objection!
How's that ridiculous?
Impossible, might I add. The witness is a mare of rather petite stature.
So?
Are you suggesting that she managed to overpower a fully grown stallion with nothing but her hooves?
Sure.
And then, after doing so, throw him hard enough against the railing to knock him unconscious?
Not quite.
Huh?
You're right that she used the railing to knock him out, but she didn't do so with her bare hooves.
Would this be related to that unconventional weapon you mentioned earlier by any chance?
Exactly, Your Honor. In fact, she kindly brought it into the court for all to see.
What?
Your Honor, this is the weapon Miss Polar Mare used to overpower the victim.
Her scar.
Take that!
You're saying she used
See?
a scarf?
This is why I don't
Recall
wear
what the witness
scarves.
just said moments ago.
I can say for certain that I did not bring a single thing to the theater other than what I have on right now.
Nothing other than what she has on. Ah!
Oh!
If
Yes.
that's true, then the weapon she
I'm a
used should be clear
robot.
as day. After making it to the catwalk, she took the scarf off of her neck and waited for the victim to ascend and
Send.
Once he did, she quickly wrapped the scarf around
Ascension.
the unsuspecting Overall's neck. The two no doubt struggled as he tried to free himself. But as his strength waned, Miss Polar Mare managed to knock out Overall by throwing him against the catwalk's railing.
With the scarf.
Are you listening to yourself, human?
I'm
If she
listening.
had done that, she would have left marks around the victim's neck.
Marks that I'm sure weren't just seen as having been caused
Thank you,
by the
sir.
wound. Am
Thank
I right?
you.
Huh? You...
Then, just as Miss Polar Mare finished incapacitating Overall, who should show up but Coco. After coming across a scene like that, she would have been too on guard for the witness to use her scarf again. So instead, she used the fabric roll she had with her to knock
smart.
Coco out as well.
Smart.
Shut up! You... What are you even talking about? I did no such thing. Your Honor, please throw this lawyer out of the courtroom
Dude,
now.
you're not refuting. You're not refuting. You're not defending. You're just yelling. You're just yelling. Honey, you got a big storm coming. Ah, no, stop.
Ow.
Quick little thing there.
I'm sorry, Miss Polo Mare, but I can't do that.
Why is that?
Mr. Wright's theory may seem far-fetched, but I cannot deny that what he has proposed is indeed a possibility. Prince Blueblood, any thoughts?
Well...
Oh dear. It seems we have reached an impasse.
That is how you
I
spell
suppose I
impasse.
have no choice but to suspend proceedings of this trial for
No,
another...
Hold
no.
it! Your Honor, I have evidence to prove
The
my
letter.
innocence.
The letter.
You do?
Ah.
Well, let's hear it then.
Very well. Mr. Wright, you're saying that I used my scarf to strangle the victim on the night of the murder, correct?
Well, not exactly to death or anything, but something like that, yes.
In that case, there should be paint marks on my scarf, right? I clearly wasn't aware of the paint that stained my hooves since I left behind a pretty noticeable trail at the scene. So, obviously,
I see what you're
to
saying.
get rid of those marks.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Suppose so.
Then go ahead. I'll give you permission to test my scarf for traces of paint. I promise you, you won't find anything on it.
That's
Well,
smart.
Mr. Wright, do you wish to request that we test Miss Polomare's scarf?
Sure.
This feels like a trap. There's no doubt that she was unaware of the paint that night. If she had known, she wouldn't have left such a clear trail behind. In that case, the fact that she so eagerly gave up her scarf for testing can only mean that she's certain that whatever paint she left on has been washed off. So then, the answer should be clear. No, Your Honor.
Damn.
Why not, Mr. Wright? This could be your only chance to prove your case.
No.
That would be because there's no way that the scarf has any paint left on it.
And how are you so sure of that?
Because last night, at the time of the murder, it was raining outside.
Well, yes. Wait. She left.
Even though you were completely unaware of the fluorescent paint that night, that doesn't matter in the slightest.
She left. Oh!
Traces of paint that remained on your hooves or your scarf would have undoubtedly been washed away by the rain as you made your way back home.
Dude.
You insolent human!
You meddling kids.
Witness, restrain yourself.
Shut up! You're serious. This is between me and that lawyer over there.
Nah.
Of course, ma'am.
Gee, thanks for nothing, Your Honor.
That's just what he does.
Then, since you refuse to let me try and prove my own innocence, how about you show some evidence that proves my guilt?
Sure thing.
Or guilt.
Sure.
Everything you've said so far is all based on circumstantial evidence. The scarf, the fabric, the paint. You've woven a fascinating yarn.
Ooh,
But
yarn.
you prove it
Nice.
to be true.
Ooh.
He's right. At the moment, this is all just circumstantial. Just conjecture. That's
Conjecture.
about to change very soon.
If you can't prove I killed Overall and framed Coco for it, then these are
Okay.
baseless accusations, okay?
Well,
Okay.
Mr. Wright, do you have anything that conclusively proves that
I'm
this
ready.
witness
I'm
was
ready.
the one who
I'm
killed
ready.
Overall Concept and then framed the defendant as an act of revenge?
This is it. The final piece of the puzzle. If I can't prove Suri's guilty now, the trial will have to resume tomorrow. Who knows what that could mean for us.
And we will figure out that final piece of evidence in the next fit. No, I did that joke in the last video. I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry.
You know what we can use now, Phoenix? I don't think any of the evidence is conclusive enough to show that Suri had anything to do with the murder or the framing.
Perhaps not right now, but we may just see it in a moment.
Oh.
Suri made one big mistake that night. She got her hooves covered in fluorescent paint. Then, whatever she touched also got contaminated in that paint. And unfortunately for her, she just had to go the extra mile when framing Coco for the crime.
Oh.
Oh, I see now.
I don't see it now.
All that's left is to see if we can make it stick.
I
Oh,
won't ask
stick.
again, Mr. Wright.
Burnt
Present
stick.
your evidence now, if you have any, to prove that this witness is the real guilty party behind this
I'm
crime.
ready. Hit me with your best shot.
Nothing. He can't have anything.
I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Miss Polomare. I do have the evidence that proves that
Straighten
you
my
were the guilty party,
tuxedo.
and it's right here. Take that!
Isn't that The fabric roll?
What in Equestria does that prove? There's nothing on there to suggest that I even touched it.
When looking at it normally, you're right. However, we've yet to examine this fabric roll completely.
Completely.
Your Honor, with your permission, I would like to perform one last test with the forensics flashlight. Once I shine it over this fabric roll, we'll see once and for all who really killed Overall Concept.
What? No.
There you have it.
No!
Yes. You're done, son!
I'm afraid I don't understand. How would any traces found on that fabric
Poppin' music.
prove who killed the victim?
I'm bouncing.
When we adjourned for recess earlier, Coco told me she had regained some of her memories.
Oh? And what did she remember?
Unfortunately, she couldn't remember exactly what had happened on the catwalk, but she did remember everything after she awoke from being knocked out. This fabric roll was resting in her hooves, which had suddenly become covered in glitter, despite the fact she had just washed them.
The fabric roll was in her hooves?
Wait a minute. Yes.
If she is to be believed, then this means someone must have placed it there, and there's only one pony who could have done that.
You!
Miss Polomare, I'm going to run this flashlight over this fabric roll. If we find your hoof prints on there, left clearly by the paint your hooves were covered in, then I would say this whole case is solved.
Solved like a ding-dong brick. A shiny brick. Yo!
Oh! There they are! Quick! Someone analyze them!
Quick! Stat! Nurse! My broom! 30 minutes later.
Prince Blueblood, are the results back yet?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what do they show?
The hoof prints found on the fabric roll match those of Surrey.
Hold on a minute. Need I say more?
Polomare.
It's over, Suri. Now that we know you're responsible for framing Coco, that would naturally mean you were also the one who killed Overall Concept.
You've been read like a book.
So, Suri Polomare, what do you have to say for yourself?
Whoa. 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 Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! Sweet. Sweet animation. Nice. For a second I thought she was gonna start attacking the court or something.
Well, I do believe we've finally come to the conclusion of this trial.
I agree, Your Honor.
If I am to understand correctly, Miss Polomare was the only other pony at the scene of the murder, and all of the evidence points to her. Her motive was to steal a roll of the victim's fabric for the contest she was participating in, and she was caught in the process of stealing it and retaliated against her pursuers. After they were both knocked unconscious, she hung Overall Concept in an effort to get revenge on her former pupil.
Yes, Your Honor. Everything lines up.
Absolutely.
And all the facts are in place.
Indeed. I see no room for doubt.
You did it, Phoenix! You won!
We
All's
won.
Well, that ends well.
No.
Magic friendship.
I can't lose. Not to this hairless buffoon.
The truth led us to this conclusion, Blue Blood. There's nowhere else to go from here.
When you hit rock bottom, there's only one way left to go, and that's up.
No.
No.
You have to play me, please. Somebody help me.
Now then, I believe it is time I hand down my verdict. The court finds the defendant
Don't give me that ... I see that ... at the end there. I see there's still an hour of this video left. No, Shirley. No. They're not gonna... No. Nah. Surely not.
Coco Pamel?
No! Who's talking now? What?
Please hold on for a second.
What are you... Coco? What? What?
Miss Pamel? What are you doing? I was about to hand down your verdict.
Whoa.
Wait! There's something I need to tell you. It's important.
Something important?
Oh my god, what do you mean?
I have an objection to the defense's last statement.
What?
Order in the court! Defendant, what is the meaning of this?
Yo, what is happening?
I remember now.
She remembers everything.
Everything.
Whoa.
Remember?
Wait, Coco, you regained all your memory?
Yes, all of it.
Oh my
What
god.
do you mean by all of it?
She remembers all of
I'll
it.
tell you in full detail about the chase, even what happened on the catwalk.
Oh my god.
Well, don't just stand there looking adorable.
Gotta have the adorability and then
I admittedly I didn't see in the moment he fell, but I know for a fact that Suri, she couldn't have been the one who pushed him down.
Oh, what the hell, bro?
Impossible!
Yo, I'm loving this energy here with the characters.
Order in the court!
Yes, I have it. A hyperventilating
Realize
burger.
what you just said? By doing this, you're incriminating yourself.
Aren't you trying to make a mockery of this
I'm about to
court?
mock you off a cliff.
Oh, you stay out of this. This doesn't involve you anymore.
What?
I'm going to be arrested for murder if I don't do something.
You
Dude.
care. You hate my guts. If anything, you should be thrilled about this.
I'm not. I can't just sit by and watch this happen. If I don't say anything, you're gonna get sent to the moon.
The moon,
That's
true.
what I deserve for getting myself into trouble all the time.
No, you don't.
Oh my god.
You keep saying that it's every pony for themselves, but that's just not true.
It's not
I've
true.
learned from a great friend that you should always show generosity to others, even if they may not deserve it. So I'm going to help you, whether you want me to or not.
Damn straight, girl.
I couldn't care less about why you're doing this. What matters is what this means. Is this you confessing to your crime?
Nope, nuh-uh,
Not
no.
at all. If it's all right, I'd like to explain what I saw on the night of the murder.
Alright, I'm ready.
Left to be said. It's been proven that Miss Pullimer was behind this. I understand how you must feel, but...
Please, Mr. Wright, I have to do this. I have to save her. I trust her. She would never kill any pony.
Yo,
And
this goes crazy.
you trust me, right? You
That means there's still a chance that Blue Blood killed overall concept. No, but it might be playwright. Because we haven't had that whole thing with playwright mispronouncing Pomel. We haven't explained that yet. We haven't visited that yet. So it might be playwright.
You told me so. So please, let me testify. Let me tell you what really happened that night.
I think it's playwright. It might be playwright.
Alright, Coco.
Really?
If you're that certain of your own testimony, then I trust you. Your Honor,
They played us like a fiddle. Let's go.
please allow my client to testify. From it, we should be able to find the real truth of this case.
Maya. Do it, Judge.
Very well.
Yes.
Miss Pamel, please testify about what you witnessed at the night of the murder.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you too, Mr. Wright.
Coco.
You better say thank you after this, Suri.
The only thing I really know
You really
is that
better.
whatever it is Coco has to say will lead us to the truth.
I'm ready. I'm ready. What I remember.
I was returning from the restroom after washing my hooves with the paint and glitter. I suddenly saw Overall running up to the catwalk, and then I quickly followed him. While running up the stairs, I heard a loud clang from above.
It's got that clang.
When I reached the top of the catwalk, I saw Suri looking over the edge with a special fabric in her mouth. I ran to her to ask where Overall was, but then she swapped the roll in my head, and I was knocked out. When I came to, I looked down for the catwalk and saw Overall hanging with a rope tied around his neck. Before I could even scream, Playwright found me, and I just stood where I was until the police came.
That seems to be quite consistent with what the defense has already uncovered.
Yes.
But if you'll let me explain further.
Objection!
Yeah.
Why are we continuing?
Oh
with this
my
charade?
god. Blue
Is this
blood,
your
shut
handle,
the
or
freak
dirty
up.
woman? Did you set this up just to rub my defeat in my face?
Of course not. It's our duty as keepers of the law to find the truth. The whole truth.
Yep.
If all you care about are your own personal victories, then I suggest you find a different occupation.
Damn straight.
You little blue kitten! You dare disrespect me!
Oh, I dare.
Me! Prince Blue Blood!
Can we
Nephew
please,
to
like...
Princess Celestia, her...
I don't care who you are.
Thank you
I'm
so
here
much.
to find the truth.
Thank
and
you
if
so
you aren't
much.
here to do the same, then the only experience you're gonna get with these trials is how to severely damage your own judicial system.
Oh, yes.
Mr. Wright, please begin your cross-examination.
I hate Blue Blood so much.
I was returning from the restroom after washing my hooves with the paint.
This music is also kind of cool.
Are you certain that you were able to wash everything off?
Yes, I did. I knew that I was dealing with fluorescent paint, so I had to be thorough with my washing. I actually had to turn off the lights while washing my hooves to see if I got everything off.
Okay.
That difficult to wash off?
As long as it's still wet, it's manageable. It's not as easy when it's dry, though. That's why I had to wash my hooves immediately.
So, why didn't Overall have any paint on his hooves? He was working with you, right?
Yeah, but he was mostly just showing me how to properly paint the fabric, so he barely touched the stuff.
Okay.
I see. You also said that you were returning to the dressing room. Anything in particular that seemed off while heading back?
Well, something like that. I suddenly saw Overall running up to the catwalk, and then I quickly
Yes, you
followed
did.
him.
Hold it! Did you see anyone else before you saw Overall?
No, I only saw him. Or at least, that's all I could see when I looked.
What do you mean by that?
While I was on my way back, I was listening to the play. I was really happy with how great the actors were doing, and it sounded like their best performance yet.
Oh, that sucks.
I only noticed that something was wrong when I heard loud hoof steps, and that was when I looked at
There's that loud hoof steps again.
I only saw Overall sprinting out of the dressing room for a split second.
Did you see which direction he was running to?
He looked like he was heading towards the stage. I even called his name, hoping he would respond, but he didn't say anything. I was really worried.
And that's when you started running after him?
Yes, I had to find out what the problem was. When I next caught sight of him, I saw that he was near the top of the stairs to the catwalk.
You know, I wonder if murder cases or court cases in real life are this complicated. I assume most of them aren't, but I wonder if there have been cases that have been this complex before. Yeah.
The catwalk. I was afraid he would trip because it was so dark, so I turned on the safety lights to make sure he was safe.
Ah, okay.
Right. She said that earlier, and that's why the safety lights were turned on during the crime. So, when you ran up the stairs to the catwalk, was there anything that you saw that struck you as strange?
It's not exactly what I saw that caught my attention. It's what I heard.
Clang.
What did you hear, defendant?
Clang, obviously.
While running up the stairs, I heard a loud clang from above.
Hold it! How loud exactly would you say it was?
I was about like
Loud,
0.5
actually.
decibels.
I'm sure that the others who were near the stage would have heard it too.
Decibels.
That's right. Playwright said he heard the same thing in his testimony. I thought Miss Pillomere knocked out the victim with the railing. Could it have been something else? She also mentioned it in her testimony, after all. How did you react to the noise?
It startled me. It made me even more worried for Overall. I had to see what was going on up there.
What did you see when you got to the top?
When I reached the top of the catwalk, I saw Suri looking over the edge with a special fabric
Why
in her
was she
mouth.
looking over the edge?
You saw Miss Pillomere?
I recognized her the instant I saw her. I never thought I would ever see her again after quitting as her assistant.
Do you recall her reaction to seeing
Dude, I'm
She looked very
Oh.
shocked. In fact, she looked just as shocked to see me as she did when she was staring over the edge of the catwalk.
Did you see her holding anything other than the fabric?
No, all she had was the rolled up fabric. I didn't see anything else.
I think she was staring over the edge because she was looking at the play. She was definitely watching the play. Okay. So she originally came to steal the fabric. She stole the fabric, she walked out, and she went up the catwalk to, like, I guess, avoid any suspicion or anything, because not many people are going to go up to the catwalk during a play, or then again, maybe so, maybe not. So but then she got distracted by the play, was watching the play, and meanwhile, while this is happening, overall concept is just realize that his fabric is missing, so he runs out. I guess something is suspected for him to think to go up the catwalk and, race up there. And that's when Coco Pamel, saw overall concept, went up as well, turn on the safety lights. Saw Polymere with the thing. But then how was Dude, there's two ways this could go. Either it was a suicide, or Playwright did it. Dude, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Else.
What about her scarf? Did you see it?
I did, and it was securely wrapped around her neck.
Securely.
There's no way she could have taken it off and put it back on so quickly. I'm sure of it.
And just to confirm, the special fabric was rolled up and used to knock you unconscious.
Yes, it was rolled up.
This has already been established. You're just poking holes into your own theory now.
How about we poke holes into you?
And what about Overall? Where was he?
Well,
Yeah, where was he?
He wasn't anywhere.
Wait, what?
What do you mean?
When I got to the top of the catwalk, all I saw was Suri.
What?
Overall was nowhere to be seen.
What?
Dude, this changes everything.
Miss Pamel, are you suggesting that Overall just
He was a ghost. He was a ghost.
I was confused too, but that's what I saw. He wasn't on the catwalk at all.
Well, this throws a wrench into my theory. If Overall wasn't on the catwalk by the time Coco made it up there, that could only mean... You don't think that the victim had already been hanged by the time you got up there, do you?
Now that you mention it, I did hear the crowd panicking when I got to the top.
Oh.
And I'm sure whatever Suri saw gave her that expression when she looked down. It's possible. She was looking at the body.
Oh.
What? But how is that possible?
Okay. Blue. No fucking way.
Prince Blueblood, what's so funny?
Isn't it obvious, Your Honor? The defense has managed to disprove his own theory with his client's testimony.
He has?
Go on, filthy human. Say it. Admit that.
Dude, I thought Blueblood was about to admit that he was the murderer. Dude, I was about to go nuts.
According to Miss Pommel's testimony, Miss Polymer cannot possibly be the killer, and as a result, the only other one it could be is the defendant.
Well, Mr. Wright, is that true? Do you have nothing left to support your own theory?
Watch, Your Honor. The attorney there will clearly opt to strike all of the defendant's testimony from the record.
Please, Mr. Wright, you have to believe me. I know it ruins the case you built, but it's all true. I swear.
Blueblood's right. I could easily have this testimony discarded and go straight for a not guilty verdict. But Coco risked everything to bring this information to light. She must really believe that Miss Polymer is innocent. And given the testimony she's provided so far, it certainly seems to be the case. She's trusting me to save some pony she cares about. And I'm not about to betray that trust.
Oh, yes.
Your Honor, the defense will not have the defendant's testimony stricken from the record.
You won't? But that means...
Nah, okay, we can make it out of this.
We're accepting the defendant's testimony as truth.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Then, does that mean you have evidence to prove how Miss Polymer could have committed the crime under these new circumstances?
Nope.
No, Your Honor, we do not.
What? But wasn't she your prime suspect for the theft, and the framing, and the murder?
And the stealing of my
still
cheese
believe
sandwich.
That she stole the fabric and framed Coco. However, I am certain, based on Coco's testimony, that she was not the one who killed Overall Concept.
Oh.
I see. And what, pray tell, do you think can prove your point? After all, there's nothing to suggest that the defendant is even telling the truth here, is there?
Talk about showing your hand. Blueblood's clearly baiting me into presenting this evidence. He knows what it will prove if I do. But there's no way to go but forward. My only hope now lies with her.
Oh. The letter? Slam that desk, baby.
The defense would like to present a piece of evidence at this time. Evidence that will reveal the truth behind this incident once and for all.
Are you sure about this, Mr. Wright?
Please, present it.
Absolutely, Your Honor.
Please. What is it?
That a noose used in the crime?
What?
Earlier, we determined that Miss Polymer had touched the fabric roll by finding traces
Oh
of
my
fluorescent
God.
paint on it. Now, what do you suppose we'll find if we examine this with a forensics flashlight?
Well,
Will we
if
find
she's
paint?
the culprit, I'd imagine there'd be traces of paint on the rope.
And if there isn't, then that would mean that she's innocent of this murder, correct?
Yes, I suppose so. But do you know what you're doing, Mr. Wright?
Hell yeah.
I couldn't be more certain, Your Honor.
Oh my god.
Well, then please test the rope for fluorescent paint.
Who's paint? Was there paint?
There's
no paint!
no paint! There's no paint on the rope!
There's no paint on the rope! There's no paint on the rope! Dude, he's going insane.
Attorney, you've fallen right into my
You've
trap.
fallen for my trap card!
Blood, what do you mean?
Your Honor, as we've all seen, this rope has no fluorescent paint on it, which means that Miss Polymer cannot be the killer. In which case, the only other clue left as to the identity of the killer are the traces that were found on the rope.
The other traces?
If you recall, Your
What?
Honor, this rope had traces of glitter found
Oh, that's
around
what
the
I... The
noose.
glitter. Okay.
Oh, That's right!
This
going.
must mean that someone who had glitter-covered hooves must have been the one to wrap the noose around the victim's neck. There were only 2 ponies who had the opportunity to do that after the victim was knocked out, and both of them would have had glitter on their hooves.
Oh my god!
And Miss Polomare. However, now that we know that there was no paint on the rope, that rules out
Oh my
the witness,
god, bro.
leaving the defendant as the only possible suspect.
Oh,
Didn't
that's
Overall
right.
have glitter on his hooves?
What? No! It wasn't me!
Silence, you criminal!
Oh, silence,
It's
you
impossible
criminal
for you to escape your
scum!
punishment now. Isn't that right, defense?
Objection!
Stop saying that.
But Coco couldn't have used the fabric roll to knock the victim out. There's no way she could be the killer.
Objection! Just
Objection.
because
Time for the
she couldn't
objection
have knocked
storm.
the victim out doesn't mean she can't be the killer.
Why not?
Have you already forgotten what your spiky-headed friend has already demonstrated?
I thought it was.
Miss Polomare here was the one who knocked the victim unconscious by throwing him against the catwalk railing using her scarf.
No.
Oh my god.
After incapacitating the victim, likely because she was trying to stop him from catching her after stealing the fabric, Miss
True.
Polomare showed up on the scene and proceeded to hang the victim.
Objection! But Coco had...
Wait a minute. But if Coco truly killed Overall, why would Polomare go through the effort to frame Coco? You know what I'm saying?
Coco had cleaned off all the glitter on her hooves before going up the catwalk. Suri even testified that Coco had gone to do so.
Objection! However, she has not confirmed that the defendant did in fact have clean hooves when she arrived on the scene.
Of course she did.
But...
It's the end of the line for you, defense. Am I wrong, Mr. Right?
Oh, you're Mr. Wrong and he's Mr. Right.
Everything is going according to plan.
Ah.
Even though it's now clear who killed the victim, I think it's time we remove the last traces of doubt from the court.
Dude, please be
Mr.
blue blood.
Wright, do you have anything that can refute the prosecution's claim?
It's blue blood.
Don't, Your Honor, but someone here does.
And who would that be, Mr. Wright?
Isn't it obvious? The one pony who can testify for certain exactly when Coco's hooves were covered in glitter. Suri Polomare!
What?
You honestly think she's going to testify for you now? What a joke!
You're a joke.
Just accused her of a murder she never even committed. Why, in Equestria, do you think she would want to help you?
Because that's what justice is, I think.
Suri, you've always believed that it's every pony for themselves in the big city, right?
Yes.
And yet, as we've just seen, Coco put her own life on the line to protect you. She saved you from being charged with a murder you didn't commit. Now, it's your turn to save her.
Oh.
My turn?
Yo, it's your turn. It's your turn to roll the dice.
Confess to everything you
We're
did
playing
that night,
sorry right now.
and everything you saw.
Pick a card.
Prove Coco's innocence beyond all doubt.
Confess.
I've done everything I can to help Coco. And your testimony, your confession, is the last piece I need to completely prove her innocence. However, you must tell the truth this time. You aren't going to get another shot at this.
Please, Suri. I trust you. You'll do the right thing. I know it.
Do the right thing.
You trust me?
Huh.
I do.
I don't at all. But I do now.
Enough
For now.
of this melodrama. The game is up, attorney. She is not going
She's going to testify.
for-
Fine then. I confess.
Oh, she did it. She did
What are
it.
you confessing to, witness?
I confess to stealing the fabric and attacking Coco.
Oh, she didn't kill.
You're admitting that it was you?
No, she didn't kill. She didn't kill. She didn't kill.
Yourself. You're going to ruin my...
Shut up!
Shut
I
up!
don't care about your case, okay?
Okay.
I'm gonna tell the whole truth of that night, whether you want me to or not.
Will none of you treat me with the respect I deserve?
Blue blood. Just to spite you. Just to absolutely just smack you. I'm going to end the video here. Because you don't deserve to wait. Actually, wait, no. Okay, you know what? This doesn't make sense. But one, what's the fun in making sense? And two, water bottle.